Malfurion versus Malfurion.
I must protect the wild. Nature must be preserved.
Plus Feral Rage, Living Roots is bad against Druid. Hold on to the ramp, I guess. Let's just pass here. Probably makes more sense to play Wild Growth on 2 and then coin Nourish the next turn. And since I have 2 copies of Nourish in my hand, I think I definitely ramp with the first one and then draw with the second.
Can't do that.
We'll ramp with this one, that gives us the mana to hero power down his dude. And I currently have a Malagos along with Living Roots and Moonfire in my hand. So I've got some burst on turn 10. Or maybe it just gets held for Aviana and Kun combos. And there's the Aviana, so I just need to draw the Kun. Let's go ahead and cycle this Wild Growth. I think drawing cards is really important for my deck. How good is Barnes at this point? Pretty much just hits Yashiraj and Ragnaros, with some smaller decent options like Sogoth and Bog Creeper. I don't have a good answer for an Ancient of War. I could actually just go ahead and kill this Ancient of War right now if I innervate Malagos and then go Moonfire Living Roots. Leaves me with a 4/12 on board, which Druid can really only deal with Mulch. Fuck it, let's just see if we can win the game with Malagos right here. If he doesn't have Mulch, the Malagos does a lot of work. If he does have Mulch, then that clears the way for some of my other dudes. Although Malagos is definitely the best target for it. Maybe outside of Yashiraj. Okay, he's trying to draw, so probably still looking for the Mulch. So I can use Wrath to draw a card and kill this guy. Do I prefer to save it for a bigger target? If I choose to save it, I have to run Malagos in here. It goes down to 8 health. 8 health is still pretty hard for him to deal with, but combinations of Feral Rages and swipes can deal with it. So maybe I want to protect my Malagos a little bit. See what Barnes can do here. I have Noggenfogger in my hand, so no reason to attack first. Obviously Goya was not what I was going for, but still pretty decent. So I don't have any spell damage in my hand for the Malagos currently, but I have 15 cards in my deck, and that includes 2 swipes, a Moonfire, and a Living Roots. Why does it show how many cards I have in my hand when I hover over my deck? Is that a new Hearthstone feature, or is that something my deck tracker's doing? It doesn't do it for him. I manually hover over his for it to do it, right? That's actually a good feature. I like that. I never really knew that I wanted that, but I like it now that I know it exists. So what even happened to that turn? I'm guessing he drew cards, and then he swiped my Barnes. So the Malagos is still really big. Let's just keep putting big stuff on the board because he obviously can't deal with the Malagos. I really doubt he can deal with Yashiraj. The Aviana doesn't really matter all that much, but she has a free 5/5 this turn basically. Well, someone's gonna be upset at the end of this turn. I guess all things considered, that wasn't a complete disaster. Let's just go ahead and draw Swipe here. That seems like the play. Easy game. How do I want to pop this Divine Shield? I don't think I really want to take 8 damage. Probably just use the Living Roots to kill it then. Okay, really happy I didn't take the 8 damage. Oh, he's just dead, isn't he?
Malfurion versus Valera.
Watch your back.
I must protect the wild.
Should I keep a Living Roots against Rogue? They tend to do some piratey things in the first few turns, but I can't really make the 1/1s because it's too weak to his dagger. Maybe I toss the Living Roots trying to get Wild Growth. Let's toss it. Wild Growth is better, Jade Blossom is better. Okay, should have kept Living Roots. I don't think I can afford to use my coin here, even though it would help me clear something. With my hand being as expensive as it is, I'm definitely going to need the ramp later. At least he had a weak turn too. Let's cycle the Wrath here because my hand actually blows right now. Nice, got another card that blows. Just what I was hoping for. But to be fair, Yogg-Saron is probably a pretty good card to have in my hand. It's really bad off Barnes or Goya, and I feel like I might need a Yogg to win this game for me. Because with draws like this, I'm certainly not going to win it myself. Okay, so at this point he's pretty much confirmed to be Miracle Rogue, I think. Up to this point he could have been like the stealthy Murloc Rogue or just some other kind of aggressive variant. But passing turn 3 and turn 4, I think it's pretty much guaranteed to be Miracle. Not that it matters. I lose against every Rogue deck with this hand. Or just every deck. The good news is, if he dumps his entire hand to make an Edwin Van Cleef, I have the mulch.
So many options.
Well, that's pretty good. Obviously I can't draw because my hand is full. If things get too sketchy, I can actually just coin out a Yogg-Saron this turn. If all he does is conceal that, though, I'm probably just going to play Rag and go for the 50-50. Probably better odds on that than Yogg-Saron. And in fact, I think I've only played like 3 spells this game. I guess it would be 4 with the coin, so the Yogg isn't very good. Dude, why don't I have a Baron Geddon in my deck? Such a noob. If only I had 2 more Innervates in my hand, I could swipe that with the Malagos. But I guess I'll just go for the Rag. Right here, buddy. Good boy. Good Ragnaros. Oh man, this might be the last Ragnaros I ever play in Standard. That's so sad.
Thank you.
Cool, Nourish was like the worst card in my deck. Well, he just used a sap. So maybe Malygos can win the game. And even if he has the other sap, I won't overdraw this time since I played 2 cards that turn.
I got the best deals anywhere.
Why do you have so many auctioneers, dude? If you have another conceal, we can't be friends anymore. Oh wait, I have a swipe, so it doesn't matter if he has conceal. Alright, Mila, we can still be friends if you have a conceal. Unless you also have a sap. If you have sap conceal, that's just fucked up. I think I'm still in this game. He's only drawn 11 more cards than me.
Let's dance. The Brotherhood shall
Choose soon.
That has to be against the rules. There's no way you're allowed to actually make a Van Cleef that big. Luckily I have it mulched though. Yeah, it looks like a pretty straightforward swipe face, mulch this dude. Oh, I even get to make him overdraw with the mulch. Sick. This only makes a 1/1. I think I actually value 1 HP more than a 1/1 right now.
Hand is too
Oh, the Cold Blood. That's so good. Cold Blood is such a scary card. So that's both Cold Bloods down. He still has both Eviscerates. A Leroy. Fucking wrecked. Malygos is broken, dude. Why doesn't everybody play Malygos in their deck?
Malfurion versus Valera.
watch your back.
I must protect the wild.
What is this hand? Can't keep this. Sometimes I'm willing to keep Nourish with other ramp, but as my only ramp spell, I don't think I would ever keep a Nourish. Looks like we're just gonna go Blossom into Nourish, hold the coin. I guess I could have coined out the Jade Blossom here that would let me swipe whatever he plays this turn, but he doesn't have a coin, so there's no Tomb Pillager. If he plays Shaku, it's stealthed anyway, so that doesn't actually seem very good. Okay, looks like it's most likely Miracle with that play. Fan of Knives isn't super common in the other versions of Rogue.
We hunger for vengeance.
I'm definitely ramping with Nourish here. That leaves me with 2 mana to kill the Thalnos. So the question is, do I play Wrath or just use my hero power? Nourish puts me on 8 next turn, so I'll still be 1 turn off with Yashiraj even with the coin. So I'd probably like to make sure that I draw into a playable threat for next turn. So let's go ahead and cycle the Wrath. This guy's a really good pickup. He's hard for pretty much any class to deal with. Against Rogue in particular, he's unsappable.
So many options.
Shiv tells me that this is more likely to be a Malygos Rogue. I don't think Shiv is particularly common in any other variation. Let's just play Sagoth while I have the breathing room. Like I said, it's really hard for him to deal with. I could have tried to like hold the coin, and then next turn coin Kun, and then still play Sagoth. This leaves me the option to play Nourish or Swipe or whatever I need to this turn to deal with his board.
A tale of glorious redemption.
I was about to say no Malygos, please, but it actually wouldn't matter. I guess if he had like Fan of Knives that he could play this turn, it might matter. This guy just took 5 damage. For what purpose, friend? For what purpose? Well, let's draw some cards with Nourish here. And then I'm definitely just gonna swipe and go face, I think. I could play Barnes. Let's see, if I play Barnes, that's all my mana, so Aviana's bad, Goya and Yogg are both bad, but Malygos and Ragnaros are both pretty solid. Let's just swipe. Swipe and push 5. Keeping the Barnes means that next turn I can go for the second swipe plus my Barnes. And I also just think it's pretty good to keep as much health on my Sawgoth as possible. Seems like it should be a pretty big problem for him to deal with. I think I'm actually pretty close to lethal. I have 15, I believe. Goya's pretty good, because she's one of the worst Barnes targets in my deck. Okay, so if I get Rag, do I have lethal? Rag sets him to 9. I have Swipe, Feral Rage, so yeah, Rag and Malygos are both lethal here, I believe. Let's start with this guy, just in case I don't get lethal. Dude, Malygos is so good! He just won me 4 games in a row. My rank 9 is all thanks to Malygos.